At least you can wish me luck.
Go, what happened to wishing a luck? I could clearly peep a snake through these cardiac buffs. I was that in the cut that they had thought wouldn't be nothing. Just wanted to play in the streets, had forced my hand, I had to do something. Who that? BGE, but we move around like the Black Mafia family. Look, I can't have snitches in my circle, got real murders around me. You can't just keep in my trap, break down and break the Chun-Li down. I put my quota in some baggage, get arrested, auntie. You ain't mobile, bring it to your door and serve you like subpoena. How the hell you go from selling dope to selling out arenas? You can win, bet it all, roll the dice, life a gamble, close your eyes.
Who would've known that you'd have to go so suddenly, so fast? How could it be that our sweet memories are important? It's just the same place. You just apologize, and I'm gon' realize you're not for me. I keep on paying price, I keep on rolling dice. Without you by my side, it seems I can't be. Is it me?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Simply Went to M, the podcast. On tonight's episode of the podcast, we finally get to hear the story Not So Lucky with Brandon. Hey, Brandon, how you doing?
How you doing? Good.
About time.
I
It's
know,
about
right?
time. It's about time. I realized your story. Well, it piqued my interest from you being on the pop the balloon and the tragedy that started over there with the person you picked and then another person trying to pursue you and then that not working out and you finding out some things. That's what piqued my interest.
Right.
But in following you through the pop the balloon indie edition, I discovered that your relationship life is a little bit more complex.
Correct.
How did you end up on Pop the Balloon? Let's just start right there. How did you end up on there?
I actually went on Pop the Balloon to tell my story, just a life story. You know what I'm saying? So really, I was thinking about like going on there. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody had a reason to going on there. I think a lot of people was going on there to advertise their businesses. You know what I mean? I think at first it wasn't more about finding love. You know what I mean? So really, I went on there to try to tell my story. You know what I'm saying? I wanted an outlet. You know what I mean? To let people, about mental health things like that. You know what I mean? Just life decisions. You get what I'm trying to say? Being married, going through a divorce. You know what I'm saying? Cheating on my wife, realizing, hey, what a woman's worth is. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? And just things that I've been through in life. So
So let's go back a little bit. Let's go back to where this all began. And tell me, what was it like for you growing up, and how would you describe your teenage years as it pertains to the
first,
ladies?
let me say this. I was raised by a woman, right? So, coming from a single parent home, my mom, most women teach they sons to be soft. You know what I'm saying? So I have a soft kind of, you know what I mean? So what today you women call sassy, you know what I mean? And it's kind of crazy to me, right? Yeah, because to me it's like, hey, you have to understand the upbringing of people, you know what I mean? You guys are giving men label as soft and, sassy when you're raising us to be that way, right? So because most parents come from, are single parent mothers, right? And they're raising their daughter to be strong, independent, tough. You don't need a man. And then it's kind of like a baby to your son, right? So, my mother was loving, caring. She did everything she could possibly do to raise men. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, hey, we have to make our own decisions and learn on our
So
own.
when you started dating seriously, or if you ever got serious, I guess. relationships like? Like, was you an avid player of the game, or was
I
that
think
softness a reflection in your relationships?
Yeah, so I always, as far as softness, like romantic, I have that, I mean, just the love from women, right? I can say as a man, I've never been shown to how to love a woman. So nowadays, I tell a woman to teach me to love you. You get what I'm trying to say? Because I never had a man show me to love a woman, right? Loving women is just in me naturally because of my mother. You know what I mean? My grandmother, which is great women. I had the strongest thing ever I have seen in this world is women. You get what I'm trying to say? So, my early relationship though, as men, we don't grow up to want to be married. I don't believe. You know what I mean? I think that's a woman dream. As a kid, you trying to be a player. I was at the gas station trying to get how many numbers we can get. We're going to the skating rink. I'm trying to get 40 numbers. Me and my buddies coming out talking about how many girls you get. You get what I'm trying to say? So things like that. So that's how I grew up. I grew up trying to be a player. If you want to be
What
honest.
lessons do you feel like you learned as a teenager that you may have took into your experiences as an adult man trying to date?
I don't believe I really started learning lessons until I got 39, 40. Since to be honest with you. So I think going through what I went through now that I'm older in life, I realize, you know what I'm saying, I have grown now. It has took me everything I have experienced in life. So as a teenager, I really wasn't looking at life like that. I was just having fun. I was just enjoying life. You know what I mean? I played sports. I was real good in sports. I was a jock. So, I had all the ladies. You get what I'm trying to say? And at that time, hey, who want to wear my jersey to school on Friday for game night, right? You know what I'm saying? That's how it was, right? Wear my jersey, you know what I mean? And the girls wanted that, right? So I was real popular, so I never had a problem with girls. And for the most part, I'm not no arrogant person. I know people might think that because I take videos all the time, but I do that because, the loss of my brother and memories, right, to me. But I do know I'm a handsome guy, you know what I'm saying? So.
Did you feel like you had a proper role model of what a relationship should look like?
Uh, I can't say I have, honestly. You know what I mean? To be honest, I mean, I know great men. My grandfather was a great man. You know what I'm saying? But when you say proper role model as far as what, you know what I mean? Because I believe back in those days when my grandmother, I watched her accept things, you know what I mean, as a woman because of bills being paid, and she didn't care though. That's the difference between today and now. Hey, grandma never lowered her standards, and I know people like, well, I'm not dumb. My grandmother never lowered her standards. You get what I'm trying to say? As who she was as a woman, she stood on her principle. Even though grandpa was a Rolling Stone, she said, "Hey, he's paying my bills." You get what I'm trying to say? And she didn't go out here and disvalue herself. And I'm not a judgmental person on what's going on today. You know what I mean? But it's just what it is, right? So
But no, let's talk about that part of it. Let's talk about that context because I feel like and I'm not I we can't really say what the next person should or shouldn't
correct,
take
correct.
because we don't know what all is going on in that situation. But I feel like society has groomed women to be so independent that it's easy for them to leave their spouse at the drop of the dime when grandma Neil was more forgiving than what today's women are.
I mean,
Way more forgiving.
correct. I mean, it's a good and a bad side to that, I believe. You know what I mean? Like you said, we don't know what some people these are going through, right? So for the women that's getting beaten, going through trauma issues like that, get away. I believe, you know what I mean? Don't, and um, I don't judge none. You know what I'm saying? I understand. You know what I'm saying? I got traumas myself. I run into women out here that have trauma that held on to somebody so long, and it's just like they're almost used to that trauma to where if you're not talking to them a certain way, if you're not treating them a certain way, you look like a simp or a sis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. I'm gonna tell you something. It's hard out here for men. You know what I'm saying? Especially men that are kind of raised by women. I mean, the world is right now, right? To be honest with you, so you know what I mean. It's a lot of parents, women that's raised to be independent, tough, strong. I don't need nobody, and that's I can't explain that, to be honest with you. I just say I understand. You know what I'm saying? So I understand. You get what I'm trying to say? I know where they come from, right? So I try to
Do you
understand.
feel like the views you had earlier on in life kind of shaped how you approach the idea of marriage?
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Being married. at first, I wasn't ready to be married. You know what I'm saying? So going through marriage has made me ready for marriage. You know what I'm saying? Because I started to see a value in a woman, right? Once I lost my ex-wife, and I'm not just saying her, like it's something that I want to, it's just being honest about a woman. You get what I'm trying to say? So the right woman will provide you. You have natural instincts. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you have an intuition. You know what I mean? So those friends that were bad, she kept away. You get what I'm trying to say? You're a nurturer. You get what I'm trying to say? You're also a healer. You get what I'm trying to say? And these are natural gifts that you have. Some women don't have no more because they're so damaged. They got it, but they don't even use it no more. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so damaged, right? They've been hurt so much that they don't even want to use it no more. You know what I mean? So the ability to just help a man. You get what I'm trying to say? The balance of a woman, right? I'm not going to stay out so late in the streets because I'm going to respect my wife. I'm going to come in at 8, 9, 10 o'clock. You get what I'm trying to say? Things like that. Once I lost that, I was more in the streets. I was more around, basically, people, places, things start to change. You get what I'm trying to say? The environment, the people that you're around. So you know what I'm saying? That I understand what a woman brings to the table. You get what I'm trying to say? I believe a lot of people are building relationships only for today. You get what I'm trying to say? I think a lot of people are building off of emotional love, a feeling, you know what I mean? And instead of building a foundation, investing into each other, building each other dreams. Once you got so much invested into each other, you're not going to want to leave it, right? You're not going to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, look what we got now. I'm not going nowhere, and we got it together. You know what I mean? This whole 50, 100, or 80, whatever's going on out here in society is kind of crazy, right? It's like we're a team. You know what I mean? Who's keeping score? That's how I think about it, right? If you down, I got you. If I fall down, you got me. If we on the same level, let's get it together. You get what I'm trying to say? There's no score, so it's a lot of worldly things going on right now. You know what I'm saying? That I fell victim to myself. So we are worldly people. I just know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I think everything I've been through has made me who I am today. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Let's get into the tough stuff. You ready to break the
yeah,
ice?
I'm ready for it all.
All right. So recently, as recent as almost 2 weeks ago, we watched you do a very, very trending Facebook post bidding your ex-wife farewell.
Yeah.
What was the motivation behind that post? Because that post included the original proposal, her reaction, as well as your acceptance and accountability for the role you played in the demise of the marriage. Where did that come from? Where did that post come from?
I think in order to move on, you have to close certain chapters, certain things that hurt you for so long. And I had to realize, like my OG told me, he's like, bro, have you ever realized, like you're driving, it's a rear view mirror, right? It's this big, then you got the windshield, and it's big. You know what I'm saying? So long as I'm looking in that windshield, I can't see what's coming to me. You get what I'm trying to say? And I felt like that was big for me to close that out, to move on. You know what I mean? As a man, like, I do want to look. I want marriage. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, right? Because any person that tell you they don't, they crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, who want to be alone? You know what I mean? So, I want to be a husband someday. You know what I'm saying? I have dreams. You know what I mean? I'm not somebody that that's happy with my life. You know what I mean? As a kid, like I wanted to be somebody. You know what I mean? I promised my grandma, I'm gonna get you out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that was my dreams, right? So to me, that family is important. You know what I'm saying? I want the picket house. I want the, barbecues, riding bikes. You know what I'm saying? Together, picnics, things like that. You know what I'm saying? That I find happiness in. You know what I'm saying? Because I started to find happiness in the smallest things now. But I did that, yeah, like I said, to close out, you know what I'm saying, that chapter, you know what I'm saying, it's accepting, taking accountability. For so long, I held so many people, you know what I mean, like as enemies. Like I had friends that stayed friends with them, and I hated them for it. You get what I'm trying to say? I felt like they were supposed to choose a side when reality, she didn't do nothing to them. You get what I'm trying to say? So they couldn't be mad, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that I held, you know what I'm saying, and it hurted me in it more than, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. So I say out of that situation, I hurt myself more than, you get what I'm trying to say, anything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. How did you feel about our perception? How did you feel seeing all of us say, "Wow, that's big of you. We proud of you for giving her closure." Like, how did that make you feel as a man to see the public receive you and accept your accountability?
To be honest with you, I stopped caring what the public think. You know, I think public, not to say it like that, the public pick and choose what they want to cheer for, right? But right now I'm on a a journey to just live in truth. You know what I'm saying? I want to live in truth, man, and just I'm a spiritual person. You know what I'm saying? So I done got into the spiritual type thing, and just manifesting and believing in things, right? So I personally don't care what the public has to say. You know what I'm saying? I know it wasn't about that. You know what I mean? But I do appreciate the positive feedback. You know what I mean? I do appreciate it. But that wasn't my goal. It's just something that I wanted to get off my chest personally. You know, sometimes some people don't know. So when people, you put your bit, sometimes Facebook is an outlet for people to get off. So when some people say things, I'll be like, hey, some people don't have being that I did lose my outlets, my emotional outlets. My brother was murdered, my grandmother who died of cancer back to back right after my divorce. You don't have that emotional, outreach anymore, right? So some people use Facebook to get that off, you know what I mean? And my mom would say, hey, you put too much of your business on Facebook. And I'm like, hey, mom, that's the only, that I can get this off.
Was the post made for her, for
No,
you, or for both?
no. To be honest with you, it's not, I mean, I'm past that, not to say it like that, you know what I'm saying? I hope her the best. I mean, she was a great person in my life, to be honest with you. She definitely was a great wife to me, you know what I mean? So she helped me reach goals that I never thought I could reach. You know what I mean? I believe that's how, her balance helped me reach being number one in the world in coaching. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? Traveling the world and seeing places that I never seen. You know what I mean? Things like that, right? She helped me get there. And that's why I say, I believe in everybody is in your life for a reason, right? Some people are here forever. Some people are here for a stint. You get what I'm trying to say? And everything is about learning. You know what I mean? So she helped me learn. You get what I'm trying to say? So, and she also told me, if you read that post, that I will be a perfect husband one day, just not for her.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it. I mean, I watched you get to this point. So when I saw the post, I'm like, oh wow, he done. He done.
Yeah,
Like he
I'll
make you.
forever love her though. She got a
Yeah.
special part of my heart always. You know what I'm saying? So we've been through a lot. Like we raised kids together. You know what I mean? Her kids is still my kids. I have them tattooed on my hand. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, her son calls, all the time and talk to my son. And when he got in some trouble, I helped him get a lawyer. I paid for that. You know what I'm saying? And hey,
Do you
it's
feel
just
a
life.
sense
So
of peace in releasing her with so much love and acceptance after everything you put her through?
I don't know if that. To be honest with you, I don't know. Some women don't ever. You know what I mean? If I was the love of her life, she was willing to marry me and go. You know what I mean? Some stuff just is what it is, right? It probably molded her, right? So right now she's probably not taking nothing from nobody. You get what I'm trying to say? So I don't know if it's ever a peace with her. You know what I mean? When it comes down to that, and her peace might be, like we said, learning from it at the same time, right? Using it to better herself as like, I'm not about to let no man run over me. So when you say things like, when we say, hey, it's women out here that just moving on fast, I can understand, because it's men like me can get a woman and you fumble it and they accept you, they accept you, they give you another chance, they give you another chance. You get what I'm trying to say?
Worked really well with you guys during the good times in your marriage.
The good times of our marriage. It was a lot of good times, to be honest with you. We traveled, you know what I'm saying? We seen some things, man. We raised some good kids, you know what I'm saying, together. As far as family orientated, we did a lot of family orientated things, barbecues, went to parks, we kayaking. I mean, it was so many things that we did, man, and it's a lot of things that I could speak on that was good, you know what I'm saying, for the relationship.
If you could go back, what would you do differently?
What I'm doing today. Okay, so basically, I want you to know who I am from day one. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you my flaws. I'm telling you my weakness. I'm gonna tell you my, you know what I mean? I have nothing to hide and understand who I am. So that's what I would do different. You know what I mean? From day one, I would tell a person exactly with no hidden stone. Hey, I have these issues. Hey, I have cheated. I have problems. You know what I mean? And things like this. So we can work on my weaknesses and let's build them up. You know what I'm saying? Together, make them strengths. And the same thing with her. So I would want to live in truth. Like I said, I'm open about who I am. You know what I'm saying? And hey, these are my problems. These are my issues through life. And you know what I mean? Let's work on them together. And I would want her to do the same.
Let's do a mental health check-in, okay? On a
Yeah.
scale of 1 to 10, where do you feel like you at today?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you from where I was. Right now, I'm probably about at a 7. Mental health.
Why a 7?
7, because I'm still going through some things as far as my, court case. I just signed my plea. You know what I mean? To be honest with you, I just signed my plea. You know what I'm saying? So, just my kids. Where I kind of stood on being a father for so long. When you let your kids down and you see you know what I mean? That hurts. You get what I'm trying to say? So that plays a part of my life.
Do you feel like the divorce impacted you mentally or emotionally?
Oh yeah, at a time, yeah. Yeah. I went through my divorce and I had my brother, right? My brother was my emotional outlet, you know what I'm saying? And he had a ways of going about things, right? So he helped me get through it. But when I went through that divorce, it was heavy, you know what I mean? Because first of all, we was living together, we had a house together, I had to start all over. You get what I'm trying to say? I had to leave everything. I ended up moving back with my mom, you know what I mean? And then getting a job, thank God I got a job. I was a supervisor at this place right here on Franklin. End up getting a supervisor position. I end up hiring my brother, and this is how God worked. I mean, at the same time, the higher power. I believe He gave us that time together before he was murdered, because I ended up being a supervisor, and I ended up getting my brother, my cousin, them all on at the job with me. You know what I mean? And that was probably the most time we got to spend together in a long time, because I was coaching, traveling, playing ball, things like that. So I lived in Anderson for 10 years. So once I finally came back, I got to spend some time with him, you know what I mean? And he helped me get through that. So, you know what I mean? He was a big part of that. But yes, I was down. I had to move back to Anderson, get my own house, move my kids back, because, I got custody of my kids too. So, so I had to move them back.
Wait till them get done. Come on.
So, without going too much into the case, you shared a little bit about you signed the plea deal already. Can you share just a little bit about what you've done to get yourself here, and what's the next phase of the process for you?
What I did, selfish, I believe, right? That's when I look at it, right? Because it's selfish. Because I was making $2,000 a week, man. Once I went through my divorce, bang, a year later, my brother got killed. My best friend, bam. Then the woman who raised me, that was my other outlet, was my grandmother. She died exactly a year later after my brother. So them 3 years was bang, bang, you know what I mean, to me. So now, to me, life is brand new, okay? Because everything to me that I have known is gone. You get what I'm trying to say? And instead of using it as a positive, right? Instead of letting my mental and say, hey, I'm going to do better for my family, I let it pull me down, right? So I started using that and say, hey, forget it, I'm just going to go party. And I got addicted to ecstasy pills. And that's when things happened. Once I got addicted to the ecstasy pills, I'm taking them every day, right? I'm waking up taking them. Because now I got to function with them, you know what I'm saying? It became to that point, right? And I'm traveling, I'm coaching kids, right? And I'm popping them, right? So, end up getting addicted to them, man, and then next thing you know, now, I'm with them, you know what I mean? End up getting pulled over in the car. And when we got pulled over in the car, they found 15,000 pills. So from there, I got locked up. I got bonded out $7,500. Oh yeah. Ended up getting a lawyer, my first lawyer. They offered me 17 years for it. Oh, and yeah. So I'm 41, right? And never been in no trouble, and a single dad, you know what I mean? And it's like, bro, I just went through this, you get what I'm saying? Losing my wife, lost my brother, lose my granny, now I catch a case and you talking about 17 years and I got kids. You see what I'm trying to say? I end up firing him, to be honest with you, and I end up calling a friend of mine who's real close, who I was connected to through a Nike deal, because I was coaching for Nike. His son Imani Bates has a team. Okay, so I was coaching for Imani Bates. His dad ended up helping me get a lawyer, and the lawyer was Steve Haney. That's his name. We ended up getting like $50,000 together for him, with the help of them as well, and which is a blessing, right? So they helped me, and right now I just signed a plea for like a cap on 8. So it went from 17 with a cap on 8, with the possibility of probation. So I might get probation if the higher power with me.
But
So that's how everything went on.
it's in the judge's discretion.
Correct. Judge's discretion.
How has the case affected your day-to-day life, and how have you prepared the children?
To be honest with you, it kind of, once I caught the case, I started running from life, and I end up, on more, right, with the drugs, taking them more heavy, because I was down on myself, right, because I feel like I failed, not only the world, my kids, my mom, you know what I mean, knowing at the time my mom was going through what she going through as far as losing her mom and her brother, then I put her through something now. You get what I'm trying to say? She's not the, she's tough. You know what I'm saying? My mom is tough, right? She's real tough. But she loves me, but that's just her way of life. You know what I'm saying? She's not the, oh, it's gonna be okay type. She's the, get your ass up, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Type that, you know what I mean? So, it wasn't good for me at the time, you know what I mean, to be honest with you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, it led to the streets, man, more, right? So at first, even getting back on more pills, and I ended up having to go to rehab, man. So when I went to rehab, I ended up going to rehab and then checking myself in after rehab into like a halfway house. I don't know if you know what I went to Fairbanks, and then they put you in a little, where you stay at the little apartment and stuff like that. So end up doing that, and that's when I end up getting better.
Do you feel like any of this should have an influence on the way the judge sentences you?
I hope so, to be honest with you, understanding like, hey, I'm human, right? I went through some tragedy in my life. I'm not this person. It's just showing my life, my history of life. You get what I'm trying to say? I made a mistake, to be honest with you, and now that I'm where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying, I realized the mistake. I have no excuses though. You get what I'm trying to say? As a man, I have to accept my account, and that's the whole thing about everything, right? So after all this is done, I had to look in the mirror and accept accountability. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, I self-destructed. I did this to myself. I can make up all the excuses in the world. My brother's dead. My grandma died. I got a divorce. I took drugs. That's an excuse. You're a man at the end of the day. We all got choices, right? Instead of letting it drive me for the positive, I let it drive me for the worse. You know what I'm saying? And thank God I'm still here living to change my story at the end of the day, right? So I still got breath. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to put this story out here, because right now I'm in that transition. So I want people to see my story, just like they seen the good. I let you guys see me get married, in the public's eye. I let you guys see me play basketball in the public's eye. I let you guys see me travel the world and coach kids and be the #1 coach in the public's eye, right? You see me coach high school basketball for Anderson High School 2 years, and then Phelan Academy. I'm gonna give you my down too, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm just truthful about my life. I have nothing to hide, you know what I mean? We ain't perfect, we human. We all have flaws, we all have, you know what I'm saying, a story, right? I believe, I know that worldly things can affect you if you're not mentally strong enough, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us are living worldly, you know what I'm saying? And this is what it is, right? You become what you eat. That's what I say. You are what you eat. You feel me? I get on Facebook every day. I know I am what I eat. I chase women. You got booties everywhere. Booties everywhere. You seen the TikTok, the challenges going on? Ooh. It's a couple of them. But see, that's my issue. That's my issue. My friends tell me that all the time, man. But at the same time, man, I'm a good-hearted person. I stand for something. I have morals. You know what I mean? That's it. I'm genuine, and I don't believe there's a lot of genuine people out here anymore. You know what I mean? So
When the court case is over, what is the first thing you feel like you want to try to focus on to move forward?
I'm gonna tell you something. It's crazy because when I was going to rehab, I used to talk about my story all the time, and everybody used to love my story because they feel like they said I always come from the heart. It's like, hey, I can feel you. And I'm gonna tell you something else. Everybody used to ask me how are you so good at coaching? And I'd be like, bro, it ain't about X and O's. Them kids love you. You got to make them love you. I realized it was my passion. It wasn't about the X's and O's. They loved me. They knew I was for them. They could feel it, right? So when I used to talk to those people, I used to be like, man, I want to get back to coaching real bad. I want to get back to coaching real bad. And it's this one white guy. He pulled me to the side. He said, hey, I love your stories and I love the way you talk about coaching kids. But he said, have you ever thought about that door opening up many other doors for you? And I never thought about that, right? Like this door leads to many other doors, right? So now since I've been through what I've been through, you know what I mean? I still want to coach and things like that and train kids. But I also want to start a nonprofit organization and start helping kids on mental health. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's important to get to these kids at young ages. You know what I mean? And help and educate them on mental health and drug addictions. So get out into the black community because, hey, when I went to rehab, I had a man tell me he would rather walk into a prison than walk into a rehab to save his own life. And I said, man, that's sad. And there's a lot of people in the world that will deny going and die before walking in there. You get what I'm trying to say? Right?
So we all know you got this all-star basketball athlete behind you. What was some of your proudest moments as an athlete yourself?
I think the biggest moment, man, was when we because this is a childhood friend thing. Okay, so this was the biggest moment to me when me and my childhood friends we played for $1 million. We went to LA to play for $1 million. We ended up winning $65,000. But to watch my childhood friends, me, Norman Anderson, Gary McGee, Troy Taylor, those guys, man, we went down there, man, and we represented for Indiana as a whole. So we was, it was like branches. It was here in Indianapolis. Actually, Sean Teague threw it. It was the Ball Up $1 Million Challenge. And us going to LA, man, and just representing for Indianapolis. And we were small town, so really I'm from Anderson. I moved here in the 6th grade to Indianapolis and been here since, but I'm from Anderson. So that was one of my biggest accomplishments, I feel, because it felt so good to me.
What was the toughest lesson you learned as a player?
Excuse me, repeat that.
What was the toughest lesson you learned as an athlete?
Toughest lesson. Hey, and this is life, not even as an athlete. And I'm gonna tell you something. I actually learned it now. In order to understand what a win truly feels like, you have to take a loss. All right.
Yeah.
And even with that being said, when I was coaching for the first 6 years, I was getting beat. So I remember coaching, and I had the same kids the whole time. So I remember our first game, we got beat by 60. You know what I mean? And those parents was mad at me for putting our team in the top tournaments. And they like, why you keep putting us in here? They getting they beat. They ain't ready for this. And I said, we're going to stay till we're going to get ready. It's going to take these beatings to get there, right? And I looked up 6 years later, we #1 in the world. You know what I mean? Them same kids, right? And at the time they was talking about us, I remember they say, hey, them kids ain't gonna win, man. They ain't gonna win. And I stuck to it. So that all plays a part in it. You know what I mean? You don't understand what a win truly feels like until you take a loss.
How did you transition over into coaching from being an athlete and combining being a coach as well as being a mentor to the kids?
To be honest with you, a close friend of mine, his name was Jovan McGraw. I went to Qdoba's 7 years ago. I was in Qdoba's, and he was like, hey man, it was a Anderson all local Anderson kids. it was the Warriors. They was called the Warriors. There was a program. He was like, "Hey man, how would you feel about coaching these kids?" And I was like, "All right, I'll do it." And then from there, it was every day with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got into coaching. So I got into coaching through him, and then once I started doing so good with that, I ended up getting a call from Anderson High School. So that's how I got the Anderson High School job. At first, I was not getting paid for coaching the first 6 years. That was another problem in my household, okay? Even though I'm traveling, my wife, at that time, she felt like, hey, you're not bringing no money in off of this. You get what I'm trying to say? And it's crazy to talk about this, but she dealt with it the whole time, and then as soon as we got a divorce, I ended up start getting paid the most money ever. That's when I ended up getting the #1 in the world, and they started paying me $2,000 just to show up to tournaments. So every tournament I was getting $2,000 plus hotels, my whole team flight. We eating at the top restaurants, everything free. So I'm traveling, my plane flights, everything free. We were sponsored, fully sponsored.
Wow. Wow. Do you feel like you let the kids down that you used to coach by some of your personal choices?
Yeah, not only my own kids, right? That's why I'm gonna start at. To watch them. You know. Yeah. I live on that, to be honest with you, because I didn't have a father, right? So, you know. So my bad. I was telling my girl the other day, like, man, to my daughter, man, she where she come from, right? So being honest, right? Also my kid's mom had a addiction, so that's how I got custody. Of him, and my daughter said, "Hey, now both of my parents on drugs," and to watch them look at you different, and they're not wrong because I changed up on them, right? So when you're not in their life like that, you're choosing other things before your own. Yeah, that shit hurt. Especially when you stand for that. Because I love my kids to death. Right? And right now I be battling with it, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, they older, right? My son 18, my daughter, my son graduated. I can say I did that right. I'm sorry.
Congratulations.
Yeah. He graduated. He's going to HVAC. He already signed. He's in HVAC right now. He got plans on going to nursing. You know what I mean? My daughter want to be a lawyer. She's actually a senior right now. You know what I'm saying? In high school herself. She's on her way to graduate. I'm proud of them. I try to tell them, don't let our trauma become their trauma. You know what I mean? Don't let your parents or our family's trauma, you know what I mean, dictate your future. You get what I'm trying to say? Things like that, right? I'm very visual to my kids. You know what I'm saying? I talk to them. I tell them, hey, this is life, right? And you're gonna go through some things. It's gonna make or break you. You get what I'm trying to say? So. Yes, on that note, yeah, bro, that hurted me. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, my kids. Yes, I feel like I let down a lot of kids that I coached as well. I ended up losing my Nike contract. You know what I'm saying? Now I can't coach on Nike no more. I watched the same kids that I lost end up winning the national championship this year. You get what I'm trying to say for Indy Heat. So, those same kids would have played with me. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, yeah. So to me, yeah, I let a lot of kids down, but they still call me. They tell me they love me. You know what I mean? I see a lot of kids successful right now that I coach, like Cooper Zachary, Antonio Bayman, Tamar J. Hill. It's Isaiah Hill there at Pike. Tamar J. English. Yeah. So
as you prepare to face sentencing, have you prepared your family for the probability of you leaving?
Yeah, we hoping it don't, but yeah, we didn't talk about it. My mom got my kids, you know what I'm saying? I know they good. So even with that being said, I don't even look at it like that no more. You know what I'm saying? That time I was scared. I feel like where my mind is now, you can't do nothing but make me stronger. If you're gonna get me away from it, some of this and let me sit down and really think and get myself all the way together, I'm gonna be dangerous. That's how I think about it, right? Because, like I said, I'm starting to get in tune with myself and understand me more through this all. You know what I'm saying? The power of the mind and things like that, right? So, you gonna let me sit down and really get myself together, go work out, come back out here to this world? I'm that's how I think about it. But if that's worse, right? I mean, I can do it out here, right? So I think about it in that way. I can go educate myself more. You know what I'm saying?
If you had to give the audience a message about your story and the journey you traveled, what would it be?
Life be lifing. Life be lifing, and I feel like we take a lot of stuff for granted. You know what I'm saying? Time. You know what I mean? Time is very important. A lot of us think everything just forever or something. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't really feel shit until you go through it. You know what I mean? I feel like once I lost the people I love most, I realized that, you know what I'm saying? Even with love, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing I talk about relationships and things like that. It's like, bro, you start to cherish stuff more. You know what I'm saying? You start to cherish some. I think it's crazy. I think men actually almost got to get shot to grow up. We got to go through more than y'all. You know what I mean? Like, we really got to go through some shit to understand what life is, the work. You know what I'm saying? I think women mature fast because of things you go through, right? As far as life, first of all, body changes, bleeding, having kids. Mama already programming you to be independent, strong. That's about it, man. Love your people. Love your people. You know what I'm saying? Hug your people. Tomorrow ain't promised. Cherish love, cherish the people around you. You know what I mean? If you do have somebody in your life that, married or whatever it may be, you know what I'm saying? Cherish it.
When it comes to faith, family, and foundation, what comes first, what comes second, and what comes third?
Faith. Faith. Because without faith, there's nothing. And you got to believe. That's what I found out. You know what I'm saying? Because I think hell's a mental state. I don't believe in hell. I think hell's a mental state. I've been there. You can't tell me, right? I've been there. So faith, you know what I'm saying? Manifestation, I got to believe in it. What's second is family to me. You know what I'm saying? Because family is everything. Family can help me get that foundation. You know what I'm saying? But then it's foundation.
That's dope. Well, I gave this story the title Not So Lucky because of your nickname. Because your nickname is Lucky. And then everything you've been through, you definitely ain't been lucky, but
I just told somebody the other day, I said I'm about to change the bad luck, man. But that's why I end up going. If you notice, I changed my screen back to Brandon Evans because I said I'm getting away from that.
yeah. But let's try your luck and let me see if I can revoke your black card. You down?
I'm down.
All right, let's get it. So the first question is, which movie is considered a hood classic? Is it The Godfather, Boys in the Hood, Friday, or Scarface?
Man, it's two of them in that, but I'm gonna go Boys in the Hood. But Friday could be in that mix.
It's Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, Boys in the Hood. Come on now.
In the hip hop culture, who is known as the son of Brooklyn's Marcy Projects?
Hold on, it's Nas. No, Nas from Queensbridge. Hold on, it got to be Jay-Z.
It's Jay-Z.
Yeah, got to be Jay-Z.
Finish the line. You ready?
Yeah.
Cash rules everything around me.
What is it? Cash rule everything around me. What's the line? That's a song too.
Yeah. Sing it. Cash rules everything around me.
I'm trying to think of the song. Started from for that. You got me on that
Hey,
one.
Mr.
Cash for everything
Money,
around.
dollar bill,
Oh
y'all.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which artist was the first rapper to win the Pulitzer Prize? Was it Kanye West, Kendrick Lamar, Tupac Shakur, or J. Cole?
Kanye West.
No, it was Kendrick Lamar.
I'm 2 for 2. I still get my hood card.
You better hope you do, cause this the tiebreaker right here. This the tiebreaker right here. Finish the line from this famous Jagged Edge song.
Oh, why you had to go to this? Okay.
You're just too scandalous. You couldn't handle this. Give me back my rings.
You got me again.
Everybody know this. How do
What
you know?
is it? I can't even. Let me go to the back.
I'm gonna win. You
I
just
can't
too
even hear you. Hold on.
scandalous.
Who
You
started the
couldn't
washing
handle
machine?
this. Give me back my rings. Give me back my things over.
You got me. You got me on that one. I'm
You
sorry.
keep listening to these haters. So here's your walking papers.
I don't even remember that Jagged Edge song. I barely listen to Jagged Edge.
It's the song is over.
Yeah,
The
I
song is over by Jagged Edge. Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for transparency. Thank you for honesty. I mean, thank you for being vulnerable. I know like in today's times, it's not easy for men to one put the bullshit to the side, you know what I mean, and stand in their truth and say, hey, I did this to me. And two, it's definitely not easy for a man to show his emotions when it comes to life, family, a failed marriage, his children,
I think
addiction, and you kind of cover all of that.
I think having talking just I got an old person that talked to me, you know what I mean? He's about 50 something years old, man. He from Michigan, man. He always taught me, bro, you ain't living unless you experience emotion. That's one. You know what I mean? Like if you ain't laughing, crying, smiling, you're not living, you're dead. You get what I'm trying to say? That's one. And then my OG also taught me, man, he said a real man, he's like, if you can exhibit vulnerability, you strong. You get what I'm trying to say? You have to have strength to exhibit, because in today's world, you're right, it's looked at as bad. You get what I'm trying to say? So I think that's the problem, you know what I'm saying, with the world today. I think women is the strongest thing on earth, you know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. Hey, get used to it, ladies, you know what I'm saying? And at the same time, how are y'all talking about what y'all raising? Because most of these out here come from single parent homes, you know what I'm saying? A mother, and you're calling them sassy and y'all raising them. Like, duh.
So I don't. I'm not no boy expert. But what I think is, I don't think women can 100% raise men. I think they need that extra assistance from a male role model, even
Correct.
if the father is absent. Because you know how the saying goes, the mama always got to stay there, regardless, and the
Correct.
daddy can get up and go
I
about
tell
his
my son, I
way.
tell my son and my daughter the same thing. I say, hey, she be like, what he get to do? I said, hey, he don't gotta come home with the baby. You do. So my daughter, like, it's the same thing as a man, though. Don't get it twisted. On the other side, it's a single father. Bro, it's hard for me to raise that young lady because I can't teach her to be a woman. When I went to go buy her some pads, I had to call somebody. I'm in the store. I'm saying, hey, what kind of pads do I need? You know what I mean? So she hid certain things from me as a father because she didn't want me to know. It's just it's both ways. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
a lot of people speak from single mother side. I'm a single dad. I can tell you the other side. You know, so yes, both ways. We need
Yeah.
each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what brings balance. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not sitting here saying,
And I think single dads who raise girls do a good job, and I think single women who raise boys do a good
yeah,
job. But there's always going to be that element missing that helps the child become the perfect mix of both male and female. And when that's lacking, there's going to be some character flaws. There's going to be some issues. There's going to be some mental and emotional situations that mom or dad can't handle. and it should rightfully go to the other parent, or
Yes, yes,
another male or female
yes.
figure. But
Uh,
thank you for joining me. Thank you all for
thank
tuning in to another episode of Simply Winston M, the podcast. I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. We 40 episodes in, and as we begin to wrap up season 2 throughout the holidays, I look forward to sitting down with my male best friends and some of my church family. Have a good night, everybody.